Hi everyone, it's Nadia from YARNutopia. Today we're making these adorable little bumblebees. These are so cute, little bumblebee amigurumis. And I'll get into the supplies we'll need right away, and then we'll get into making these adorable little pieces. Oh my gosh, they're so much fun. So I'm going to demonstrate how to make this one today, this little boy bumblebee, but you can make it into a girl just by cutting some felt girly pieces. But there are different, ways you can make these. So the demonstration today is for this little boy bumblebee. The supplies you're going to need today, you're going to need Red Heart Super Saver yarns in a yellow tone, and then a black color and a white color. So the yellow I'm using for the boy is called Lemon, but for this girl one I actually used yellow, so the actual yellow, so it's a little bit brighter, but this lighter yellow is a little bit lighter. So I used, this is a 10 ply size 4 worsted weight medium yarn. It's an acrylic yarn, so you can use basically any scrap yarns you really have. It does not take a whole lot. This fits in the palm of my hand. It is a tiny little amigurumi piece, and we're using minimal black for the stripes and the stinger, and minimal white for the wings. So there's that. And then you're going to need some felt. I'm using just this craft felt out of white, black, and some pink for the girl. And it's just some craft felt and some tacky glue here to glue on the felt. And you're going to need a little bit of polyfill, because we do actually stuff this piece. As you can see, it's a little flat, but you can see that we do stuff it inside. You can stuff it as much as you want, so you're going to need some polyfill. The crochet size hook we are using today is a 3.5 millimeter, which is an E size hook. There it is, 3.5 millimeters, E size hook. And you're going to need a scissors and a yarn needle. We're doing a lot of sewing today, so you're going to need the yarn needle to sew and the scissors to cut that yarn. You can see this extra piece of yarn here. If you need a stitch marker, you can use an extra piece of yarn, or if you have a legit stitch marker, you're going to need that to mark some rounds, because we are working in rounds in this piece. You're also going to need a pipe cleaner. I cut my pipe cleaner down because we are using that for the antennas for this piece. So a lot of different craft projects, a lot of different mediums today to use in this craft project. So I hope you enjoy this video, but before we begin making this bumblebee, I do have to mention there are links in the description of this video, so you'll find the written pattern for this bumblebee on my website, YARNutopia.com, and also there's a link to my Facebook and Instagram in the description of this video. So if you make this or make both of these, share your photos and on the Facebook and on the Instagram. And if you make it and share it on Instagram, be sure to hashtag YARNutopia so I can see your bumblebees. These are so much fun, so cute to play with, or for a child, play imagination kind of games, or I don't know, a little gift for somebody. You can say they're beautiful. So it's kind of punny. So alright, and last thing I want to mention is measuring. This is about 5 inches long, which is about 12, almost 13 centimeters long. So that's how big these are. So very small. And last thing I have to say, a big thank you to my dad, Fuad, Azmat, for taking the time to make this video with us. He is our videographer, editor, and photographer for all of our videos. So make sure you subscribe to our channel on YouTube so you can get the update on when he posts our next video. So now let's start and make this cute little bumblebee amigurumi. Let's start out with yellow. Let's make a slip knot. So put your short end over that long end, then fold this down and then pull your long end through, just like that. Pull tight, insert your hook, and we can start. Let's start out by chaining 2. So yarn over, pull through 1 and 2, and then in that second chain from the hook we're going to put 6 single crochets. So the loop on the hook doesn't count, so count 1 and 2. That second chain right there, go into that chain and make a single crochet. So yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and pull through 2 loops. So that's a single crochet. So that was 1. Go back in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. That's 2. Go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, that's 3. Here's 4, 5, and 6. And now what we're going to do is put a stitch marker in. If you have just a piece of yarn, you can put it in there to mark the beginning of your round, or if you have a legit stitch marker, you can put that in there. We are going to work in continuous rounds, and we are going to work in the back loops only, okay? Just like this. So in the back loop there, these are the front loops here. Front loop, front loop, front loop. There's a back loop there, back loop, and a back loop. So we're going to be working in the back loops here. We're going to put 2 single crochets in each stitch around. So go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. That's 1. Go back into that same stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. That's 2. Go into the next stitch right here, put 2 single crochets in there, 1 and 2. And the next stitch, put 2 single crochets in there. Okay, so in 2 in each stitch around, you'll have 12 single crochets at the end of this round. So I'm just working in the back loops only and putting 2 single crochets in each stitch. Okay, so you can count back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Going on to round 3, we're going to increase again. So I'm going to put my stitch marker up just like this. Putting in this first stitch here, put 2 single crochets. Remember, back loops only, so 1 and 2. And then in the next stitch, we're only going to put 1 single crochet. So go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Then hop into the next stitch and put 2 single crochets in there. And then in the next stitch, just put 1 single crochet. So every other stitch, we're putting 2 single crochets. So 1 and 2 in that one, and then just 1 in the next. Okay, 2 in the next, and then 1 in the next. So at the end of round 3, you will have 18 single crochets. And I'm almost there, just 2 stitches left here. Alright, so I have 18 single crochets after round 3. Going on to our last round here, round 4, we're going to put our stitch marker up, and we are going to put 2 single crochets in this next stitch, and then 1 single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. So 1 and 1. And then repeat that around. So 2 single crochets in this next stitch, and then 1 single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. Okay, so 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and then 1 in this next stitch, and 1 in this next stitch. Okay, so at the end of round 4, you'll have 24 single crochets. I'm just going to repeat that, and then I'll meet you up at the end of this round. Alright, when you finish round 4, you should have 24 single crochets. So now I'm going to go under both loops of the next stitch. We're going to slip stitch, so yarn over, pull through, and pull through. And we're going to fasten this off. So chain up 1. Okay, you can remove that stitch marker. And I'm going to cut this one short, but when you make your other ones, you want to make sure you make 2 with long strands and 2 with short strands. So cut that short, pull that through, pull tight. Okay, so I have this one done, and I made another one exactly like it with a short strand, and then I made 2 other ones with long strands. Okay, so these are the 4 that I have made here. So you want to make 4 of these in total, 2 with long strands for sewing, and then these 2 with short strands just to have those, okay? So now what I need you to do is take the 2, take 1 with long strand and 1 with short strand, and 1 with a long strand and 1 with a short strand. And we're going to sew these together, okay? So what we're going to do is line these up just like this. Grab your yarn needle and the long strand, and we are going to yarn our needle with that. And then we're going to whip stitch this, lining these up with the stitches. So we're going to go around from this side, okay, into this one. And then we're going to go back to this one, into the next stitch, and into the next stitch. And then to the next stitch and we're going to just whip stitch this around. When there's just a tiny space left, I'm actually going to stuff this slightly, and then we'll sew the rest of this up. So I'm just going to continue doing this until I have, like, I don't know, 3-4 stitches left, and then I'm going to stuff it, and then I'll show you how to close this completely, and then we'll do the same thing to the other one, and then we'll start making the stripes. Alright, so I just sewed this and I have about 3 stitches left to sew, but I have just a little hole in there. I want to stuff this a little bit, so just grab a little tiny bit of stuffing and then just shove that in there. You don't want to stuff it too much though, just enough, but we still want to keep this kind of flat. But I guess, I mean, you can stuff it however you want to, but that's just how we're going to make this design. It's just kind of flat. Like that, just kind of stuffed. Just like that. Okay, so it's still kind of flat. Looks good. Alright, then we're going to sew the rest of this. So these last 3 stitches here. And then we can fasten this off. So to fasten this off, we're going to go underneath a couple of stitches, just like this. I'm going to keep my finger in this loop here, and then we're going to come back around the loop, and then pull tight. Okay, just like that. Now I'm still going to leave this long strand here because I'm going to use that for sewing when we sew both pieces together. So now do the same exact thing to these 2 pieces. Just line them up and whip stitch them closed and stuff them. And once you have these sewn together and stuffed, then I'll meet you up and we'll sew these 2 pieces together. Alright, so I just sewed this piece together here, so this is what my 2 pieces look like. They're very exactly the same, basically. So now what we're going to do is take one of the long strands that we had left here, and we're going to sew these pieces together. So right here, I'm just going to keep them together like this, and we're just going to go in one and out the other. Okay, and we're going to whip stitch these in about 4 stitches total. So 1, here's 2, and 3, and 4. Okay, and then we're going to tie this off. You can tie these 2 stragglers together if you want to. A knot, just like that. And then take your yarn needle and put both of those strands into one of these pieces in the inside. So take your yarn needle, yarn your needle with that, and then pull that through, stretch it out, and then sew it, or I'm sorry, cut it short, just like that. Okay, so now we're going to then turn it around because you don't want to see that on the front, obviously. So we're going to turn it around, so this is going to be the front. So now we have to decide which part we want the body to be or the head to be, okay? So it really doesn't matter, but I guess whichever one is stuffed a little more could be the body. So what we're actually going to do is make the stripes now. So grab your black yarn, and I'm going to set this aside, and what we're going to do with the black yarn is start out with a slip knot. So like I showed you in the beginning here, put your short end over the long end, fold that down and pull this through and pull tight. Grab your hook, and then we're going to chain. I'm going to chain 21. You can chain as many that will fit around this little coin looking circle here, okay? So yarn over and pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm just going to chain really fast here. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21. And now what we're going to do, if you want to, you can put this on this piece. Okay, make sure it wraps around this piece. And it does really nicely. Okay, just like that. So now we're going to single crochet in the second chain from the hook and across. So remember the second chain right there. What I'm going to do is actually I can see my chain like this, and what I'm going to do is turn it toward me. And you can see that there's these back ridges here, just like that. I'm going to work in these back ridges all the way across this chain. So we're going to go into the second chain, 1, 2, right in this chain here. I'm going to turn it toward me, work in that back ridge, going in, then yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Okay, and then go into the next chain right here, yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Okay, and then we're just single crocheting in each stitch across for a total of 20 single crochets. Now, if yours is bigger or smaller, you can obviously chain more or less to fit around the body of the bee, and just single crochet across the chain. That's it. So I'm just going to single crochet across this piece, and then when I'm about to fasten this part off, I'll meet you up and we'll go on to the next step. Alright, I just finished making this piece here. So now what we need to do is first get in focus. There we go. Let's fasten this off. So chain 1 and then cut this quite long. Cut your strand of yarn long for sewing, and then continue to pull that all the way through that chain 1 you just made there. Okay, fastened off, just like that. So now what I need you to do is make 1 more of these, exactly the same. Just chain your 21 and single crochet across for a total of 20 single crochets. So we have 2 stripes for our bee. So grab this bumblebee body back here, and we're going to take one of the stripes and go right about right above round 1. You can see round 1 here, looks like a little belly button. We're going to go right above that one, and we are going to wrap this around the bee like this and like this. Okay, so remember, this was the back because I have that knot there. So now what I'm going to do is sew this to the bee. So we're going to grab our yarn needle, yarn our needle with that long strand. I might have cut this a little too long, but better safe than sorry. Okay, so yarn that needle, and then what we're going to do is go into this side of this piece here. Okay, and we're going to then come through this piece here. Okay, so this is wrapped around the bee right now. And then we're going to place this down onto where we want it to be, be on the bee. And then we will secure it. I just want to secure it here first and at the bottom here. Okay. You want to also make sure that your fronts are facing the right way. So I think I flipped mine over here. There we go. So this is how it should look. And you want to place it down. If you need to, pin it so that it is where you exactly want it to be. But be careful with pins because you could, you know, poke yourself. And then what we're going to do is position it where you need it to be there. Right above that circle there. Okay. And then we're going to go in and then out. Okay, so I'm going in through both layers here. Okay. And we're just going to go in and out. And secure these stripes onto the bumblebee. So go in and then out. Okay, and I'm going to do that all the way around now. And then once I have this stripe on, I'll meet you up, show you the next stripe, and then we'll go on to the next step. Alright, so I just sewed on this stripe here, so now I'm going to fasten this off. I just have it right at this end here, okay, and then I'm going to take this straggler and tie these two in a knot. If I can get it. There we go. So 1 knot and 2 knot. There we go. And then we're going to trim that shorter And this is the back of the bumblebee, by the way. So you want to fasten off in the back, and then yarn your needle with both of those strands, and then sew them in underneath the stripe, and come out the side here, if you can pull it. There we go. Okay, stretch it out, and then cut the extra that came out the side here. And there it is, nice and secure, and there's the front. So now we just have to sew on the other one exactly the same way. Just go underneath here, make sure there's a little yellow here, and then go around this piece, just like that. Okay, and then yarn your needle with the long strand and sew this on exactly like that top strand, just going in and out. And, you know, take your time with sewing. I'm just kind of doing it fast and off camera here, but you can take your time and sew this to your piece to make it look nice and clean. But I'm just going to sew this one on off camera here, and then once I have this fully on and all my ends sewn in, I'll meet you up and we'll go on to making the wings. Alright, so I just sewed on this bottom stripe here, so we have the two stripes. So now let's go on to making the wings. So grab your white yarn. I'm setting this bee aside right now. Grab some white yarn and start off by making a slip knot. I've shown you how to do that already. And we are going to chain 3. So yarn over and pull through 1, yarn over and pull through 2, and 3. And now in the third chain, or this chain way over here, we are going to put 5 double crochets. So this one right here. So yarn over, go into that chain way over here, and then yarn over and pull through, then yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through those last 2 loops. Okay, that's a double crochet. So you have to make 5 of those in that same chain. So that was 1. So yarn over, go back in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. That's 2. Yarn over, go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That's 3. Here's 4 and 5. Now we're going to chain up 2, 1 and 2, and we're looking at our work like this. We're actually going to turn it around this way. Okay, and in this very first stitch right here, we are going to put a double crochet. So yarn over, go into this very first stitch that we just chained up 2 at, right there. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Now in that same exact stitch, we are going to put a treble crochet. So yarn over twice, okay, 1, 2, go into that same stitch, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2 more loops, and then yarn over and pull through those last 2 loops. Okay, that's a treble crochet. Now in this very next stitch, we are going to put a treble crochet. So again, yarn over twice, go into that next stitch, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2 more loops, and then yarn over and pull through those last 2 loops. Okay, that's our treble crochet. In that same stitch we're working in, right there, we're going to put a double crochet. So yarn over once, go into that same stitch, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Now in the same stitch, we're still going to work 1 more stitch in there. We're going to put a half double crochet. So yarn over, go into that same stitch, yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over and pull through all 3 of the loops on your hook. Okay, that's a half double crochet. Now in this very next stitch, we're only going to put 1 single crochet. So go into there, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2 of the loops. Now this next stitch right here is going to get a half double crochet. So yarn over once, go into this next stitch, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over and pull through all 3 of the loops on your hook. In that same stitch, we're going to put a double crochet. So yarn over, go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and yarn over and pull through 2 loops. In that same stitch, we're going to put a treble crochet. So yarn over twice, go back in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2 more, and yarn over and pull through those last 2 loops. Now we have this one stitch right here. We're going to put a treble crochet. So yarn over twice for a treble crochet. And we're going to put a double crochet. So yarn over, go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over and pull through 2. Now we're going to chain 2, 1 and 2, and slip stitch into that same stitch that we just worked that treble crochet and that double crochet in. So go back in, yarn over, pull through, and pull through that loop on your hook there. And then we can fasten this wing off. So chain 1, cut your yarn kind of long for sewing, and then continue to pull that all the way through and pull that tight. Okay, so there's a wing. So I just need you to make another one exactly like this. Once you have made them, I have both of them finished here, just like that. So once you make both of them, then we can sew these onto the bee. So while you're making your next one, I'm going to sew this. I'm going to show you how to sew this on here. So I have one of these done here. We're going to the back of the bee, and we're going to just kind of position it on this side here, this one. And we're going to position this one on this side here, like this. And then you want to look at the front of it, make sure, you know, they're positioned correctly where you want them to be. And then, we're just getting like all crazy with the puns lately. So that's how I want it to look. Okay, so I'm going to sew these on very similarly to how we sewed on the stripes. So grab your yarn needle and yarn your needle with one of the long strands. Position that where you want it. We want it right there. Okay. And then we're just going to go into the bee and then out the wing. And then into the wing here. And then into the bee. And then out. And then out the wing. Okay, and just like I said earlier, take your time with sewing this on, and then once you want to fasten this off, we just have to go down once, just like that. And then once you want to fasten this off, go underneath a couple of stitches here, just like that. Hold your finger in that loop, okay, and then come back around through that loop, and then pull tight. Okay, and then we can sew in this end. So just go into underneath the wing here. Okay, pull tight, cut any extra, and then stretch it out to hide that. Turn it around, make sure it looks good, shape it a little bit, stretch it, and there's one wing. Looks good. So now I'm just going to sew on this other wing, and then I will meet you up and we'll go on to the next step. Alright, so I just sewed on the wings here, so this is what they look like. So now we can make the stinger, and then we can make the face and everything. So grab your black yarn and your crochet hook. Make a slip knot. I showed you that many times already. And now for the stinger, we are going to chain 5. So yarn over and pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now in the second chain from the hook right here, we are going to slip stitch. So remember how I turn my chain toward me and then work in these back ridges? That's exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go in the second chain, and then I'm going to yarn over and pull through and pull through. Okay. Now in this next chain right here, we're going to single crochet. So go in, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. In this next chain here, we are going to half double crochet. So yarn over, go into that chain, yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. And then in the very last chain here, we're going to double crochet. So yarn over, go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and yarn over and pull through those last 2 loops. Now to fasten that off, we're going to chain 1 and cut the yarn semi-long for sewing, and then continue to pull that all the way through and pull tight, and there is a stinger. It's like a little point there. Okay, so now what we're going to do is grab your bee and sew that on just at the bottom there, just like that. So we're going to just sew it on with our yarn needle. Grab that yarn needle, yarn your needle, and then we're going to go in the center bottom here underneath some stitches right here, just going in and then just kind of whip stitching. Okay, and then let's see here, how am I going to do this? Position it where you need it to be. Go into the stinger, go into the bottom of the bee, and just whip stitch. There we go. Okay, and then when we want to fasten off, we just want to tie these 2 stragglers in a knot. Sort of like that. And another, I only did 1 there, do a double knot there, and then we're going to cut this shorter, careful with your scissors, and then with the strands here, these loose ends, we are going to yarn our needle with those and then sew those inside of the bee. Okay, so go through the back here behind some stitches, and then up through the inside of the bee, and pull if you can. Get it through. Sometimes it gets a little difficult to push the needle through the stitches. If you pull hard enough, it will get through. What a struggle. There we go. I got it. So there we have it. Okay, so now I'm just going to cut this extra there, stretch it out so that's all hidden. Turn this around and there's your stinger. Ooh, it looks like one of those wasps. Kind of looks scary. Alright, let's put a happy face on this thing. So first off, let's get our antenna. I just cut a piece of pipe cleaner here. So what we're going to do is just, it's actually kind of difficult to get this through. So what I'm going to do is go underneath the center top here, underneath a couple stitches. I'm going to hook on this pipe cleaner, and then I'm going to pull that through, just like that. And that way, it pulls through nicely. Oops, don't pull it out though. There we go. And then you want to just curl them outward like that. Like antennas. How cute. Okay, so there's your antennas. You can play around with them and make them look good. Okay, and then we have, I cut some felt pieces out for the face. So you can cut out felt, or you can use safety eyes or crochet some features, but I'm just going to put this, I just cut this little half circle, or I guess a U out of black here. I'm going to use some tacky glue to attach these pieces. So I have some tacky glue. We're just going to put a little dab, 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 and then we're going to put it on our piece right in the center. Cute little tiny mouth. And then we have our eyes here, so I'm going to put some glue on there. Okay, and then right down there. Okay. So you want to make them cute though. You don't want to make them like weird how I'm doing it. There we go. Okay, so we have 2 cute eyes. So now we just need 2. I just used white and black for this one. We're just gluing the eyes on with the tacky glue and the felt. Just like that. Oh my gosh, that is so adorable. And there it is. A cute little bumblebee. I hope you enjoyed learning how to make this cute little bee. Make sure to check out that written pattern that is linked in the description of this video, and then check out all my other videos for little amigurumi patterns and other patterns that I have on YARNutopia.com. Subscribe to my channel here on YouTube. Ah, how cute is that? Thank you so much for watching. Oh my gosh, this is so much fun. I'm gonna make another one. So I'll talk to you soon. Make sure you subscribe. Happy hooking!